Yeah, that's kind of gross. I can't imagine.
Yeah,
That.
was confused because I was like, do I have to shave?
Are your legs pretty?
I don't know about that.
I was promised to lose weight for putting pressure on my ear when I was a kid.
However, it's become a problem because like I don't know how to relax my eyes. I have to like almost like physically, like consciously tell myself to relax it. Welcome to Egg
And Bean
Podcast. I'm Sunny.
And I'm Nathan.
And welcome to our podcast where we discuss the growing pains in life.
And then we bandage it up and transport.
That never gets old. So Nate and I were having a conversation recently, and we clearly are from different cultural backgrounds.
Clearly,
except everyone thought Nate was Asian. But there are different types of Asians, right? And we were talking about these quite interesting cultural home remedies, holistic remedies, or even pseudoscience, some may call it.
ooh,
That our parents or family members have, told us about or actually made us believe in them and actually do them. And we thought it would be funny to kind of compare and contrast, Venn diagram.
Big words.
Yes. The different types of home remedies that Nate and I were, told or taught when we were younger.
Forced to believe,
brainwashed. And then we'll talk a little bit about whether or not there's any kind of scientific basis behind it, because we thought it'd be kind of cool to see if there was any, right?
Any truth to that?
Yes, any truth to the matter. So I'll start us off.
All right.
We'll go with something that's pretty common.
Okay.
And I was told that ginger tea is good for your immune system.
Okay.
So when I was younger, I hated ginger because it's spicy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not spice, like not hot pepper spicy, but it's spicy, right?
Yes, like it burns a little bit.
Exactly.
To me, ginger tastes like soap.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I don't know about soap, but to me it was like spicy. It was like wasabi spicy, kind of just burning sensation, and I was not a fan of it at all. In fact, I would only drink it if my mom put loads and loads of sugar in it.
Okay.
Because it made it better. So now that I'm older, I like ginger. But when I was younger, I didn't, right? And I would try to negotiate with my mom. So you know how they make those like ginger candies?
Okay, yeah.
I'd be like, Mom, I can just eat the ginger candy. It's the same thing.
It's the same.
And she's like, no, that's too much sugar. Like the sugar is going to make your immune system worse, So you need to just drink the straight ginger tea. And I was like, no, Mom, I'm not doing it. So she would force feed it down my throat. Okay, no, not force feed it. But, she would be like, you better listen to me, right? Cultural trauma. Anyways, so I did look into it a little bit, right? And I found that ginger has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, right? So it may suggest that it has immune and boosting effects, but it's not going to cure your cold.
It'll just like help it and boost it.
Maybe, yeah. Like, okay. So I think the current evidence that I found suggests that there is a link between like overall immune system improvement, but it's not a direct cure. So that's my first one.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this was we're starting off slow,
Yeah, we're starting off slow. I actually have something similar to that one, but the twist.
Okay.
So I would also drink ginger tea, but it was ginger and onion tea.
Oh, that's even worse.
That's so much worse. It's so gross.
My God. What does that taste like? Because you can't even add sugar to that.
Spicy onion. You can add sugar. So what I would do is I would add lemon and honey into it to kind of like neutralize it.
But it defeats the purpose because sugar has been linked to lower your immune system. So it's like balancing it out,
Is this a science show, Sonny, or are we talking about the stuff that I would do when I was a kid?
It's called debunking.
Yeah.
We're debunking. So did you drink that often as a kid?
Every time I got sick.
Every time I got sick. Were you force fed it?
It was more of like, drink this. It's good for you. And I was like, okay, I'll drink it.
Okay, Mom.
Yeah, it's really gross. But I never liked it. Like, you don't get used to the taste.
Yeah, I don't want to try that personally.
I don't know. But as like, I did look it up. Apparently, like you said, ginger does have antioxidants. Yeah. So does onion and like anti-inflammatory stuff.
Yeah.
So they don't say it cures it, but it says that it does help with your sickness.
Okay. Well, my next one is to piggyback off of that.
Okay.
And, my mom would give me foods with a lot of garlic and onion because they said my mom would tell me that it kills bacteria. Right. And so, but she would say it would have to be raw. Right, because she said that cooking it kills whatever that is, magic. Whatever magic it's doing. It's not working anymore if you cook it.
It's flammable, right?
Yeah. I think it's funny because as a kid I'd be like, why? She'd be like, it just is. She'd be like, it just is, and I'm like, okay, mom.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I think with a lot of Asian food, we do use a lot of garlic and onion, right? And so I remember my dad, he would eat Chinese sausages, and it's a Chinese sausage. I don't know.
What
it's
is that? I have no reference.
Okay,
for it.
It's literally a sausage, but I think the seasonings are different, obviously, but they're kind of sweet. So they put I think they add sugar and stuff to it, and it's I personally love it. It's really good. But at Taiwanese night markets, they have stands. There's always at least one stand who's roasting these sausages, right? And they always have a little bowl that you can just take, right? Of just raw garlic.
Okay.
And so you're meant to eat it with it, and I think it's supposed to cut it or whatever. But my dad would eat straight garlic from that, and in the house, he would just grab
straight
garlic.
Like a carrot, just bite it.
Yeah, literally. He would do that with carrots too, honestly.
Well, carrots I understand, but garlic?
That's true. Yeah, so he would just do it with garlic. And so one day I was like, I want to do this too, right? So I grabbed... Oh. Because before this, the only time I ever had, I had a lot of garlic, but it was always cooked,
Yeah.
Sauteed with vegetables or stir fried or something, right? Never just raw like that. So I wanted to be like my dad, so I grabbed it too, and I was trying to be mini dad, just walk around with a piece of garlic, and I took it and I literally started gagging. It was spicy.
Yeah.
If I thought ginger was spicy, this is a whole different level of spicy. It just burns
immediately.
Yeah, and then your mouth, gross, garlicky, breath. Oh,
I'm sure your sinuses were cleared though.
It was. It's wasabi, It's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah. So I looked into that, and it does have garlic and onions do technically have antimicrobial properties.
But not
quotations. There is. Okay, so it says that there's been evidence that it's supporting their role in inhibiting bacteria growth. So I don't think, again, it's not an antibiotic. You can't just take garlic and then think it's going to kill.
Cure.
It's not a cure.
Yeah.
But I think I'm starting to see a trend where it's preventative.
And maybe an accumulative of all the things it'll help.
And I've also noticed that I can leave onion and garlic out longer. I can have it for longer before it starts rotting and stuff, right?
That is
so
true.
I think itself really just intuitively day to day, what I see with it, it does tend to seem to have antibacterial properties and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty interesting. There must be some truth to it.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for centuries. So.
Yeah, thousands of years. I actually have another one that's onion based.
Okay.
It's so weird.
Yeah. I think just Asians and Mexicans, we might as well just merge into one.
We just traded with each other. That's all it is.
we said copy and paste and then add a little twist to it.
Add a little spice.
Yeah.
So, as a kid, I was told whenever I was sick, slice up an onion, put it at the bottom of your foot, put a sock on, and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Apparently, so this is the thought process behind that. They would tell me that the onion would absorb all the toxins
from your feet.
Maybe
it'll cure the feet, the stinky feet.
I thought I woke up worse.
You're like, Mom, this is making me sick.
My feet smell weird more.
So how often would you actually do that?
I don't really remember how often. I think I might have tried it once or twice, but I didn't like it.
Wouldn't the onion juice kind of get everywhere and just make everything stinky?
I just hated it because it would smell so bad.
Yeah, right?
Onion and BO.
Yeah, no. So in the morning, would you go wash it off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When you shower. Oh, I shower in the mornings.
So do your parents do this?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
It's something that we don't do anymore. And for good reason, because I looked it up, and every single article I read about it, they were like, no,
Don't
it doesn't
do it.
work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
apparently this was something that they would do during like the 1500s when the bubonic plague came out.
Yeah.
They thought that the way that you get the plague was by bad air or like contaminated air.
Right.
So they would leave onions out, and they thought that the onions would absorb that bad air. So then they thought, oh, let's put it on our feet so our feet can have the same properties, or our bodies could have the same properties.
I think it's so crazy how far like medicine has, progressed. But think about how at our current point in time, we think we're so advanced. But if we went 100 years down the line and looked back, we'd probably be we'd
They're
ask
gonna be like, why would they do that?
Yeah, why would they do that?
Why were they wearing masks?
Yeah.
That's totally the opposite thing. Right?
And I think it's really interesting that you mentioned that like they thought it was transmitted through the air because there are diseases that are transmitted. So they were honestly
onto something.
They were onto something, and given the lack of technology they had back then, that's pretty impressive.
But the onions.
The onions, yeah, that's very true. The onions doesn't make sense.
They were like, so they were saying that since the onions have that distinguished smell, and they would call the other one like maizana, the smell.
Yeah.
Or like the bad air.
Right.
And they thought it would absorb the maizana, something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's really, really interesting because there has to be some sort of basis to why like these certain beliefs came about. And, I think they had certain ideas, the general direction, but, then they found out it was the rats. So.
So the onions just made them come closer.
Yeah, actually, probably that's true.
Oh, they were their own downfall.
Oh my God, yeah. Maybe the onions of just, the rats were going to come anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember in history class, we learned or talked about how people didn't have showers like we do now. This is like so off topic, but I thought it was crazy because they had public bathhouses, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to shower like once or twice a day. It was, a monthly kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of gross. I can't imagine myself doing that.
And I can't imagine being a woman. Okay, as a like modern day woman having to deal with periods with the things that we already have. Okay, I already think that tampons and pads and all this other stuff is just, and I still have accidents and stuff. I can't imagine just walking down the street and bleeding like through like
every layer,
cloth,
like all the 5 layers that you had back then.
Yeah. And so it was crazy because the rich people, right, the people who had servants and everything, they would have people who would just like clean up the blood all the time for.
Really?
Yeah. So if you were a rich lady, right, or a rich daughter, whatever, you would have servants who would actually come and like clean your cloth diapers, almost cloth pads. It was the ancient days. It was so crazy because think about the people who don't have servants, like that's just you all day. Because I have to go through a good amount each day.
I thought it was like a one and done type of thing.
No, you don't just stick a tampon up there and then like leave it for the day. No,
sorry.
No, you gotta like go through it, and it depends on each woman's flow too. That's why they have the R as their flow. Yes.
But you know what's funny about talking about back in the day?
Yeah.
Instead of like doing something about their hygiene, the rich people, when they would go to like plays in the theater and stuff, they would buy like expensive oils and fragrances.
That's
and,
where
like,
perfume came
citruses.
from, right?
Yes. To mask the smell of other people. And instead of just bathing, they would resort to that.
I mean, we think that's crazy, but it really wasn't until pretty recently that hand washing became a common practice.
That's true.
Like,
nobody knew about germs before.
No, genuinely, like it wasn't the amount of studies that had to be done on how important hand washing was for us to adopt it as a common practice is crazy because it really wasn't that long ago. So I mean,
roughly how long ago?
I would say in the past, like I have no idea. Don't quote me on that. Someone fact check me. But I wouldn't say it was like until about like maybe 20 years ago, 30,
so gross.
30. No, more than that. Like 30 years ago.
My mom
30.
wouldn't wash her hands?
Well, I mean, I would say that people knew about washing, but it wasn't as commonplace. Like it's gotten progressively. I forgot I learned this in class, but I need to fact check that for you guys. But it really wasn't. It wasn't like, I think what I'm trying to say is it wasn't something that became commonplace like 100 years ago.
Okay.
It was like in the last
barely common practice.
Yeah, it was like, let's say like, let's play it safe, like 30, 40 years ago or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense why there's so many people that still don't wash their hands because it's fairly new.
Yeah.
They don't have the habit yet.
And it depends on what country. So, you know, some countries are unfortunate to have that kind of, you know.
Hygiene?
Yeah, because they don't have running water. So, you know, and it depends on also the country. I think that number or how long ago it really became common practice depends on the country. And I think that's also really important to keep in mind that not everybody gets the privilege that we do here.
That's true.
So it's like, we have running water. Wash your hands, guys, please. I mean, we have signs still.
Yeah.
To tell employees and people to wash their hands.
And it's crazy because if that sign is not up there, that employer could sue and be like, hey, they didn't tell me that I had to wash my hands.
Yeah. Crazy. All right. So my next one is pretty interesting. So my grandma told me that growing up that I should go lay on the floor against the wall and lift my legs up. So
for what?
For circulation and for my legs to be pretty. So she said that it would, she said that like it was good for like my circulation, right? And that it would make my legs prettier. So
what does she mean by legs prettier?
So thinner.
I could have done something about these tree trunks.
So she would lay with me. She'd be like, "Come here," like, and I would lay against the wall and lift my legs up. And she would like teach me how to like massage my legs, and she would like, you know, we would pound on our legs and stuff like that against the wall.
She had a whole routine.
Yeah, like a whole routine. And she was just, you know, I was so convinced that it was gonna make my legs pretty.
Are your legs pretty?
I don't know about that. They're all right. They're okay.
A little fuzzy, a little prickly.
Yeah. No, I actually unlike funny story about, you know, body hair is. I know that's not true for all Asians, but, you know, Asians in general tend to have less body hair than other, you know, people of ethnic backgrounds, or cultural backgrounds or race, I guess. And so I got that. I don't really have that much hair anywhere. But in high school, you know, it was once girls went through puberty, they started growing, you know, leg hair, body hair, whatever. And so everybody started shaving. Well, I played volleyball in high school, and so we were sitting before practice one day, and we all, you know, wear those little spandex, so everyone's like legs are out, and you know, this girl and some of my other teammates were talking about shaving their legs, right? Oh, what like do you use? Like, how often do you shave, right? And at this point, I was already a sophomore or junior in high school, right? And I was confused.
I would use Nair.
Okay, yeah. To each their own. But I was confused because I was like, do I have to shave? Like, I was feeling the peer pressure, you know, in high school. I was like, everybody's shaving. Like, am I supposed to shave? So I'm like low-key, like, just like staring at my legs, you know, like in between conversation, just glancing down my legs, wondering if I need to shave. So I went home that day and I was like, Mom, I have to, like, do you have a razor? I need to shave. She's like, for what? You got hair? And I was like, no. She goes, so then, well, for what? And I was like, but everyone's doing it. She's like, you don't need to shave. And so I disobeyed her, per usual, and took a razor and just started just doing it for the action of it. I wasn't doing anything.
Did you put soap? You didn't prepare the skin?
No, I was just kind of
went
like
straight for it.
Because you know when people shave, it's like meticulous, right? Like they go slow, like this, like, you know, slowly.
Yeah,
I would just like just do a few little swipes and just I'm done. Just to, you know, be a part of this shaving thing that I didn't know about. I was a follower. I was a sheep. But anyways, yeah, I used to lift up my legs and stuff like that and whatnot. It actually blew up on TikTok.
Really?
I would say, like, you know how TikTok always does that, where it'll be they'll trend something. Someone will start a trend of, oh, drink this tea and I lost a lot of weight, or if you do this, right? So it was a couple years ago, I would say, kind of like a little bit after like COVID first hit, where
this was recent.
Yeah, it was like recent, where I saw this childhood cultural, I don't know, pseudoscience thing that I did as a kid because my grandma told me to, all over the internet. It was so crazy. I mean, I looked it up, and there's technically no scientific evidence to support this claim.
Pretty legs.
Maybe there is some.
I'm thinking maybe for circulation.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to like cause you to lose weight in your legs specifically. Like that's, you know, losing weight is a whole body like process. You don't just like lose weight in your face or just in your arms.
It's not the blood flow. It's like the fat that's in there.
But I do actually still do it after a long day of standing.
Okay.
So lifting my legs up. Yeah. So I just kind of like let the blood, you know, let gravity take the course. Yeah. Yes. So I do it for that, but I don't do it for, oh, it's going to make me pretty.
I'll let you know if my legs get prettier though.
You're going to catch Nate next time. You're going to walk into his room and he's just laying on the ground with his legs up. So what's next for you?
So one that all Latinos probably, all Mexicans use this one. We call it Vaporu. Vapor rub.
I was like, what is that? And I was like,
so tell me why I searched up Vaporu on the internet instead of Vapor Rub. I found nothing.
You're like, this doesn't exist, Mom. Why is this not on the internet?
So whenever I would get sick, my mom would rub like Vapor Rub on my chest. It's supposed to open up like my sinuses.
Yeah.
And they would use it for everything. Like you have a cough, Vapor Rub. You have a sore throat, Vapor Rub.
Yeah.
I was like, come and fix it all. So I was wondering why. And I guess you called it something else the other day, camphor.
A what?
Camphor?
What is that?
Or aquaphor?
Oh, aquaphor. Yeah.
So the main ingredient is camphor.
Okay.
Sorry. So that is a pain reliever, and it actually does help, like, soothe stuff.
Oh.
So inflammation and stuff. And it also has eucalyptus oil, so that helps with, like, the coughing and all of that stuff.
So there is, like, scientific basis to that. That's really cool. I know that's pretty common practice. I think I've seen a lot of different people use Vapor Rub or just kind of underneath their nose and stuff. Yeah. I
would use it at work when the patient smelled so bad, and you would like put it in the inside.
Yeah.
And all you smell was that. It's great.
So do you remember when we used to use like toothpaste?
Yes,
so
toothpaste.
The trick is, right, it's something just like, you know, you just can't take the smell of something. One mask, right? On the outside of the mask, you place some toothpaste. And then you take another mask and place it over, like sandwich it.
Ooh,
and then you put it over.
Look at us resorting to the 1500s.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, sometimes in the medical field, as much as like you want it, you're trying to stay. You want
people to smell good?
Well, no, you're trying to stay professional, but it's sometimes really hard to go about what you need to do when like the smell is just so in your face. Yeah.
I think the worst smell would have to be either wounds or GI bleeds.
GI bleeds. I had one the other day, and if y'all have never smelled that, God bless your soul. It's rough. Like I know they're in pain, and like you feel bad for them and everything, but like the stench it's tough. It's really tough. Yeah. So my next one is very similar.
Okay.
To my previous one. I think we had a lot of ones for beauty. You know, they're not even home remedies for diseases. It was just, like this is to make you look prettier, basically. I don't know about like you guys, but we had my grandma would also tell me that I should pinch my nose. You know, as a lot of Asians, like we kind of tend to not have nose bridges, like high nose bridges, right? So our noses are a little like flat, right? And my grandma would tell me that, you know, I'm still a kid and I'm still developing. So what I need to do right now is to pinch my nose bridge. So she would literally come to me and she would go, oh, in Mandarin. She'd be like, oh, Sunny, nia nia, right? Nia is like, it means to pinch.
Okay.
Right? So she'd go, oh, let me help you, nia nia, right? So she would just pinch my nose.
Like
she would just
hard?
Like, not like super hard, but kind of like massage it, like up, kind of like that. Like a pinching and like massaging up motion, right? Up my nose bridge.
Yeah.
And I was convinced. She did this so many times.
Didn't work, Sonny.
Y'all take a look right now at my nose bridge.
Did it work?
I'm
sorry.
I have like no nose bridge. It's fine. I like my nose, actually. Like, honestly, like, I personally really like my nose. I feel like I used to not because my grandma told me. But I genuinely actually, like, I think it's one of the features I do really like. But anyways, yeah, so she would tell me to pinch my nose, which I thought was really funny. Of course, I looked it up. You know, your nose is highly, you know, defined or determined by your genetics. And just, you know, it is what it is. No amount of pinching is going to make your nose prettier. Or not prettier. I don't like that term. But taller.
Reshaped,
yeah. She really thought she could do a home remedy nose job. Yeah. So.
Nice.
I know. Before you get into your next one, we're going to take a quick break. And we'll be right back.
So during the break, I remembered something that my grandmother used to do to me when I was a little kid, and I hated it so much. So whenever I would have like back aches or something,
like back pain,
my grandma would grab the skin from my back, roll it up in her hands.
What do you mean roll it up?
I was a chubby kid.
Okay, sorry. I was like, what do you mean roll it up?
No, so she would grab the skin
and like pinch at it.
Yeah, pinch at it and like gather it together in her hands. And then in one swift movement, she'd go, and it would crack. And it hurt.
Was she cracking your back or your skin? What's cracking?
I don't know. So I think it was literally the membrane of the skin to like the muscle tissue popping off. I think that's what it was.
No way. She was just trying to dislocate your skin, basically?
I don't know, but apparently she would say, this relieves the pressure. It's going to make your
Did
back
it feel better?
It hurt. I hated it. I never let her touch me again.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And then my aunt, she can crack her scalp. Like she'll grab a lock of hair, pull it, and it'll crack.
If anybody does that or has any experience with that, please comment down below or let us know, because I'm really
Send me
interested.
a video.
Yeah, I want to know. That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, the only things that I ever experienced that hurt were pressure points, because you know how Chinese medicine and there's a lot of pressure points.
Yeah.
Those would actually feel good after. Like, it hurt in the moment, but it's like a massage, right? Like, after, it would feel better.
Yeah, I was promised to lose weight for putting pressure on my ear when I was a kid.
No way. Yeah.
You ever seen that?
I've seen the like lose weight one, like stress, cold ones, eyesight. If you look up, you know, feet pressure points or whatever pressure points, it'll show you charts of like, okay, this point is for like this, and like there's so many, especially on the feet. There's so many. If you ever look it up, like every tiny portion of your feet is supposed to be a pressure point or help out some sort of body function or some sort of your health.
Is it true?
Yeah, I don't know, because that's hard to say. I think with Western medicine perspective is no, right? You know, there's no pressure, like, you know, in Western medicine perspective, like through their eyes, it's not, I can press this point, put pressure on this point and something's gonna happen. But, you know, there's long history of Chinese medicine, you know, following these practices. So I would not, you know, stand here and say anything about it, because I'm not qualified. But at the end of the day, whether or not it really does anything, it's a massage. It feels good, you know.
That is true.
So I mean,
that is true.
I'll still do it. Have you ever done acupuncture?
Yes, I have.
You have?
So,
we've never talked about this.
You remember the story about me being in a car accident?
Yes.
Having to be in a wheelchair for all this time?
Yeah.
I would have acupuncture therapy. So they would put needles into the affected area, and they would clip these little electrodes onto it.
I've done
and
it.
have electrotherapy into my muscles.
And it would kind of like bounce, huh?
Yeah.
Like you just almost feel like you're having like spasms.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it didn't hurt.
No, like, not even the needles. Like, you don't even feel it.
It looks scary, because I think the first time I was ever exposed to acupuncture was Kung Fu Panda. You know that one scene where like Mantis is doing acupuncture on Poe and his face gets all contorted because he like misses a spot. So at first I was scared, right? And then my parents aren't huge on it or anything, but you know, one time we were in Taiwan and my mom was like, "Hey, why not? Like, let's just go try it, whatever." Yeah,
it's adventure.
So my mom and I went to a acupuncture clinic. I guess
you went straight to the source too.
Yeah, in Taiwan, and I did it, and it made me feel really relaxed. Like I felt like after a massage. So I don't know if it really did anything. I was also probably too young to really have anything.
Any sort of ailments?
Yeah, really. So I was just, just there, enjoyed it. It was cool. It was a little weird for sure. And it was definitely like scary because they put one right here. Ooh. And so like most of them I was in my back and I couldn't see it, right? But they put one like right here. So I'm like staring up like this on the like, laying prone on the or stomach down on the table, and my hands are in front of me, and I just like am staring at this like needle in between my thumb and my index finger right here, and it's just jumping. And I'm just staring at it jumping. I was like, oh my god. It didn't hurt, but I think just like seeing it.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was a bit. You
have a needle in your skin.
Yeah.
When I first did it, I told the doc, I'm like, hey, just do it on my face.
Did you do it?
I did.
How was it? I've never done it on my face. I can't do it.
I didn't feel anything. I've never had an issue with needles, and I'd like to get a reaction out of people. So I was like, do it on my face.
Did you take a video of it?
No.
Oh.
No. This was at the swap meet. Remember the one we went to? They have them there.
Do you think it worked?
I think so.
Yeah?
I felt more relaxed. Like my pain dissipated a little bit. I think it just relaxes the muscles.
Muscles, yeah. That's fair. So this next one is for hair health and hair color. So my grandma and my mom actually would tell me that I should eat a lot of black sesame seeds for my hair to be really black, a dark black color, and for it to be healthy, right? And I think traditionally it's great, or at least my family would say that having really like dark black hair was very beautiful. Yeah. So my mom would blend. This is what she would do in the morning. She would take soy milk. She would put flax seeds in it, black sesame seeds in it, just a bunch of other seeds in it, and then blend it. And I would drink that as my breakfast growing up, right? And she would tell me that my hair was going to be really black. Here's the thing, though. I looked it up, right? And black sesame seeds are rich in nutrients like iron and zinc, but it's not a hair dye, right? They may benefit hair health, right? Because, your hair is highly determinant on your health too. Because you ever notice like a lot of people who are in poor health, like their hair starts losing. Yes. I've actually experienced that, right? Just even stress, so yeah, if I'm lacking certain nutrients and stuff, I'll feel my hair thinning or just falling out and stuff. But I think the nutrients may help with like hair health, but I don't know about this hair color ish, I don't know about dyeing my hair darker than it already is.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. Just everything I say, every home remedy I've ever done, Nate's like, it didn't work.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't make you better.
You're ugly. Just accept it. No amount of home remedies is going to fix you.
People are going to think that I'm just mean to you all the time, which is kind of true.
It's okay. That's how we are.
Yeah. Okay. So my next one is something that is true.
Okay. The attitude.
So when I was a kid, I always had really light skin. So I would sunburn easily.
Right.
And my solution was to go to my backyard. Cut an aloe vera leaf off, split it in half, and then rub it all over my face.
Yeah.
And it would cure my sunburn.
Like immediately?
It would soothe it. It would stop the burning. And the next day, it wasn't as red.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, I've heard a lot of people not, take a leaf, but they sell bottled versions of it. I'm sure the leaf version is probably even better because it's like just straight from the source. Yeah. And it's really, really slimy. It's not processed. It's just, and I can see how it's like soothing because it's kind of got like a jelly, cool texture.
And then the cactus, it's mostly water also.
Right.
So that's going to like soothe the skin and like all the burn spots and stuff.
Rehydrate it too. What was it? I used aloe vera as a kid sometimes, but funny enough, my interactions with aloe vera were always in drinks. Like we would eat aloe vera.
Those drinks.
I love aloe vera drinks. But I've never really just taken a whole leaf and just placed it. Well, we don't have that in my backyard, so.
Well, in my backyard, we have aloe vera plant that's at least 30 years old. Yeah. It's
older than you.
Older than me.
That's crazy.
Although if you do go straight to the source from the plant, you have to make sure to cut it in half and let the latex drip. So the plant actually has like a yellowish fluid.
Oh, so you let it like
let
drain
the
first?
latex drip, and then if you're allergic to it, it could be bad for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, don't make sure you guys aren't allergic to that if you're going to try this out.
Yep.
Of course, none of this is medical advice. We're just sharing
stuff that my mommy told me.
Yeah, my mommy.
And it works.
This next one is, again, not true. My mother would force feed me massive amounts of papaya because she told me that it was good for my boobies, my boobie size.
Oh, you said your boobies or your booty? Because it's good for your booty.
My boobies, my yitties, right? So she would go, oh, eat papaya. You'll have big boobs. Y'all, it didn't work. It didn't work. You know, I recently brought this up to my mother recently because we were eating papaya, and I turned to her. I was like, I literally let me reenact this for you guys, right? I'm eating papaya, right? Scooping it, whatever, eating it, and I turn, Mom, remember when you used to tell me that this was gonna make my boobs grow? What happened? And she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. And I go, you lied to me. And she went, that's what I was told growing up. Like, I just had told you, and maybe I just wanted you to eat it and like told you that it was going to make your boobies grow. But here's the thing is, as a kid, I didn't care. Mm-hmm. Like, I actually at one point was avoiding eating papaya because I didn't want boobs.
So it could have worked. It was your own downfall.
No, but I was so young that I didn't care. You know, at that point I was like, I don't care if my boobs are big, you know? It's funny because my mom, I have a younger brother, right? So when she gave birth to me, she before she gave birth to me, she was a size C cup, right? And when she gave birth to me, she went down to a B cup, right? And then her foot size went from a size 7 to a size 8.
What'd you do to her?
I don't know. And then when she gave birth to my brother, her cup size went down to A, and her foot size went up to 9. So her yitties deflated, and her feet
it all
inflated.
went to her feet.
Dude, it's so weird, but I've heard, because I looked it up, and like apparently it's different, you know, per woman. Like no one has like the exact same experience, but you know, giving birth to a child or like being pregnant, like growing up human being, like changes your body, your hormones and everything. So I don't know. And I've also seen or talked to my patients' moms, and I sometimes will just chat with them about their experiences with pregnancies, especially if I have like a pediatric patient. And I'll ask them about their like pregnancy and whatnot. And some of them have shared that, you know, they suddenly were allergic to new things or just like different things about their bodies have changed. And I just thought that was really interesting. But yeah, my mother did not pass along those genes to me, and the papaya didn't work.
I mean, your feet are kind of big.
No, they're 7s.
They're 7s?
Yeah. You've always told me my feet were small. You'd always look at my shoes and you're like, Sonny, what size are you?
Yeah. Those are tiny.
Yeah. You look at my boots and you go, what is that? That's like, is that a kid's size?
Would you go to toy section to get those?
No, yeah. My feet are like 7s. Pretty average.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this next one that I have, it's a little different. I like to call it Grandma's Magic Rubbing Alcohol.
Oh.
Yeah.
You have interesting names for yours. I like it.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Like, actually. But so in Mexico, whenever you're having like arthritis pain or joint pain or any kind of pain, they have this homemade tincture where it's rubbing alcohol mixed with marijuana.
No way.
Yes.
And so it's meant to be a hand sanitizer basically?
Well, no. So you don't necessarily drink it or anything. You just rub it on your joints where like the affected area is hurting, and it's supposed to help with the pain.
Wait, people do that.
People do that.
Yeah. With not with THC. What's the
CBD.
CBD, yes.
CBD.
They have CBD lotion, CBD oils. Y'all were ahead of the game. Listen, these people, they think they're all inventive and you know, progressive with this new CBD oil, but y'all were doing that before. It's crazy.
It's weird, right? Okay, it's crazy.
Where were you getting the marijuana?
From El Chapo.
from El Chapo, duh. That's crazy.
Yeah, and so researching that topic was kind of different because
Right.
it went into a whole field that I wasn't like too familiar with.
Yeah.
But it was saying that you're right. Like it is in a way getting the CBD
Right.
from the actual plant.
Yeah.
Because it breaks down from the alcohol.
Yeah, the alcohol breaks it down.
And then you're able to use it like as a tincture.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, y'all are geniuses. Y'all are ahead of the game. I don't know what everybody else is thinking, but y'all are ahead of it.
And I remember seeing a bottle of it in my grandma's cabinet. Like they always hide it, put in like a
because they
like
didn't want
a
you guys to
discreet place.
accidentally
Yeah.
drink it or anything.
So I'm like, is that a bottle of weed?
Yeah. Did anyone ever accidentally drink it? You know, like kids and stuff.
No, but I did actually accidentally drink something. So my grandma had the weird habit of using the little McDonald's kids cups.
Why?
Little McDonald's kids
Why
cups.
would you do that?
And fill it with whatever liquid she was cleaning with. So there was one time I saw it. I was a chubby little kid, thirsty for some Dr. Pepper. And I saw that little...
Was it brown? Looked like soda.
It looked like soda. And it was dark colored inside that McDonald's cup. And I was like, I don't know whose this is, but I'm going to take a swig. And I did. A big gulp because I didn't want to get caught.
And you spit it up.
I drank it.
What did it taste like?
It was horrible. I immediately started throwing up. My mom's like, what did you drink? I'm like, I drank this soda. And then my mom's like, that's not soda.
That's not soda. I think it's funny because I don't know. This seems to be, you know, maybe an immigrant, you know, habit where we reuse containers for different things. What was it? I know there's this meme of the little cookie container for like sewing stuff.
Yes.
Right? Or my mom would reuse little jars from, I don't know, anything.
Like seasonings.
Seasonings.
Like for us, it's mole because it comes in a little jar.
Yeah. Exactly. So like you would have she would just basically reuse everything. Free cups, yeah. And I now that I live on my own.
All your cups are Starbucks cups.
Well, yeah, I reused them. And then I use, my grandma will give me like kind of jars of stuff and then I'll reuse that for other things. And I'm starting to like pick up that habit, which I don't know. I would say it's cost efficient, right? I don't have to continue to buy. I do have plates and like other, cutlery? Tupperware, whatever. But I'll reuse. I'll find myself reusing certain things. What's the weirdest thing that people reuse?
You want to know
kimchi containers?
The weirdest thing my grandpa reuses, mind you, my grandpa has dementia. I gave him a urinal.
Oh no!
A couple months ago.
Right, to use as a urinal.
Yeah, just in case he has to go in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
This man uses that urinal in the middle of the night instead of going to the bathroom.
He's like, this quick fix. Does he dump it out?
Yeah, like the next day.
Okay.
So
well,
he's got a method.
I mean, I can't fault him for that one. That's fair. That's efficient instead of getting up and going all the way to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And risking falling down.
That's true. Smart man.
He's smart, you know? Because I've actually personally gotten up in the middle of the night, I'm disoriented, half asleep, and I've like bumped into something or hit something, bruised myself, trying to go to the bathroom.
Nice.
And I'm young.
You also have dementia.
Yeah, clearly. So my next one is my mom would constantly tell me that after like reading for a while, you know, looking at my phone, looking at the computer, whatever, anything close, straining my eyes, I would look far away, you know, like to take a break, and then also looking at green things. So she would tell me to go outside and look at like trees and like the bush and like the grass or something.
I think your mom would just tell you this so that you would leave her alone.
No, she was on top of me as a kid. Yeah, she was just, just eyes on me 24/7. But I looked into it, and apparently, obviously, if you think about it, if you're straining any kind of muscle for a while, yes, it's good to take breaks. So those breaks do have some scientific evidence or backing to it. However, when I searched green things, the color green, improving eyesight, I didn't find too much. I think maybe she told me to look at green things because they tended to be further away. So if I was looking at a tree or something, so maybe that was why. But I didn't see too much that I found credible regarding looking at the color green. Because I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, then why don't I just have a piece of green paper and just stare at it in between looking at my computer? If it really helps.
Oh, you're trying to...
Do you know what I mean?
Find a loophole.
Yeah. But she would make me look at green, like, trees and just stuff like that.
Well, I mean, the color green is associated with, like, nature and, like, all that stuff. So maybe it did relax you subconsciously?
Maybe. I had really bad eyesight starting pretty young.
Same.
And my biggest problem is, to this day, I don't know how to relax my muscles. My, like... my eye muscles and like my muscles right here in between my eyebrows. So I do that. So as a kid, my mom got called in by my first grade teacher, my kindergarten and first grade teacher for a conference because, you know, they pulled her in and they went, hey, you know, Sunny's doing really well and everything. She just looks a little distressed in class, right? And my mom like, you know, knows me. And she asked, she's like, oh, does she look like she's scowling? You know, kind of like frowning. So I used to do this thing where I would go like this. So if you ever see me concentrating on something, I go like this. And I strain just the hell out of my eyes, right? And my mom was like, oh, no, don't worry. That's a good thing. Like that means she's concentrating. Yeah, I'm like concentrating. However, it's become a problem because like I don't know how to relax my eyes. I have to like almost like physically, like consciously tell myself to relax it. Or my eyes just kind of like, you know, continue getting more strained and just it never is relaxed. I have the same problem with like my shoulders and my neck.
Sorry. I also have that same issue with my shoulders.
Yeah. Like it's always like this,
like, yeah,
right?
I can't relax
Yeah,
them.
and then you have to like almost like tell yourself, oh, I have to go like that. Yeah. I think here's my theory. I think those of us who have habits of straining our like muscles in this like upper like shoulder and up region, like I feel like we tend to, I know it's genetic too, but I think we're straining our eyes for so long that our eyes just like get bad or something. I don't know if there's like, I didn't see anything, but there is evidence that long-term strain is bad for your eyes. So that's my theory on that one.
My optometrist actually told me the opposite.
Really?
So for me, my eyesight for the left eye was so weak that I wouldn't use it. I would only use the right eye. So he said if I would have caught it earlier, when I was a kid, they would have put an eye patch on me and they would have
trained your eyes.
Trained this one and made it like work harder.
Okay, so here's my theory on that. So obviously if you're not using that muscle, it's going to, you know, atrophy right? Get weaker. But if you also use it too much, it can also be bad for it. So my eyes are good. I mean, they're not good, but like because the more you strain your eyes, like, you know, when they show diagrams of nearsightedness, your eyes are no longer a perfect kind of like circular shape, like a sphere shape. It almost becomes an oval, so it protrudes out.
Oh, so that's how mine is.
Yeah, so your eyes are supposed to be a sphere-like shape. If you're nearsighted, it actually protrudes out like an oval sphere. Yeah.
So then why am I both nearsighted and farsighted?
How are you both nearsighted, farsighted?
I don't know.
I have no idea. Get an ophthalmologist up
Go
here.
to the professionals.
I'm confused about that because I've heard that a lot of like, you know, when you get older, you get farsighted, you know? So a lot of like my grandma, right, for example, she used to be nearsighted, but as she got older, she started developing, you know, being farsighted. She couldn't. So it would even out almost. I don't know. You could probably be both.
I'm a mess.
I do not quote us on any of this.
Are you able to
hit up an ophthalmologist or
I will get health insurance.
Yeah.
That is my next task. Are you able to like at will focus and unfocus your eyesight?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
Some people can do that.
Dude, I didn't know that. I also found out recently that some people don't have smell memories.
Huh?
Like, you know how like if you're
I wish I had that.
But you don't have smell memories?
Yeah, I don't want to remember GI bleeds.
Oh, if you wish you didn't. Yeah.
Like
dude.
Burning flesh.
That's what I'm saying. I can like if I think about it, I can smell it. Like it's actually like I'm smelling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found out recently that's not a thing for some people.
Really?
Yeah. We had a whole argument about it. Not argument, but I was like flabbergasted. You know, I couldn't believe.
How do you not remember what a cookie smells like?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anyways, but yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, some people don't have those. I know some people can, you know, cross their eyes, I can't really do it.
You can't cross your eyes?
So when I was
Look at your nose. Sorry.
Like, it hurts a lot, so I can't do it. When I was younger, I could. But then when I got older, it's like, I feel like I just can't do it. And it hurts a lot. I don't know. Anyways, that's my long tidbit on eyesight.
Yeah. So I have another. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I have another one. So this one, I waited to say this one.
Yeah.
So the saying in Spanish is sana sana colita redana, si no sana hoy, sanará mañana.
Okay.
So that means, literal translation, heal, frog booty. If it doesn't heal today, it'll heal tomorrow.
Say it again. Wait, say the Spanish one and then the English one.
Sana sana, colita de rana, si no sana hoy, sanará mañana.
Okay.
In English, it's heal, frog butt. If it doesn't heal today, it'll heal tomorrow.
Why frog butt?
Because it rhymes. I don't know. Like, it's just a little saying that you would tell to kids when they get injured. And they're like, and you distract them from the pain.
Right.
You're like, sana, sana, colita, si no sana.
It's like a little like magic thing, yeah.
And then they're like, whoa, what'd you do?
Like placebo, yeah.
Yeah,
almost.
like a placebo kind of
to
thing.
distract them, yeah. That's really funny.
That actually works like on kids because it distracts them from the pain.
Yeah.
And I still use it to this day.
I think it's like it's just a little tidbit, like trick, a psychosomatic trick almost of distract the kids. I mean, I think it works on adults too because sometimes like obviously not that specific saying, but if I distract myself from certain pains, then I won't feel it for that time being, and like it'll pass. That's really cool.
Yeah, so that's a little saying that they have.
So my last one is my grandma would tell me that I should use saliva on my wounds because she said that saliva will kill the bacteria. Okay, so so she would tell me to like take my saliva and then like rub it on my wounds basically.
If you get bit by a human, you got to go straight to the ER.
Okay,
right?
no, it's like scrapes. Like if you like when you fall on the concrete or whatever, like scrapes. She wouldn't tell me to do that for like major wounds. But it was like just like kids fall because they're clumsy and whatever. So yeah, like stuff like that, like or cuts.
Really?
Yeah, and it would burn. So like she'd be like that burning sensation. Yeah, that means it's working. And I'm like, well, because if you think about it, if you put like rubbing alcohol or any kind of like antibacterial, whatever, iodine, whatever, it burns, right? They tell you it's gonna burn a little. So I was convinced. I was like, okay, like that makes sense. Yeah, and I looked it up, and it says that saliva has enzymes that are like. That contains some enzymes that do have antibacterial properties, but it's not recommended to put saliva on wounds because saliva can have bacteria in it as well. Yeah, so you're actually like you're making it worse. You could be making it worse because the bacteria outweighs the antibacterial properties that is actually in saliva. Yeah. So
well, that's why you have to go to the ER. It's not necessarily because of the bite, but the bacteria that's in the mouth. So
yeah. I just had a random thought. Going back to the hair one, she would always tell me to like because I swam a lot, my hair would get longer because
really?
Yeah, she'd be like, why your hair's so long and beautiful? It's because you swim a lot, and it's like how you water plants and it grows.
Yeah.
Then that's what happens when you're swimming is your hair is getting watered. And I was like, what is going on? But I'm a kid, I'm gonna believe my grandma, especially because how we are taught to like respect our
elders and everything. Don't question.
Yeah. So, anyways,
it didn't work.
It didn't work. That's what we learned from today's podcast episode is everything that was supposed to work quotations didn't work.
And a lot of yours were like beauty
ones. Yeah, I think I would because they didn't tell this to my brother. I think in our culture it was very much like, traditionally, you want your daughters to be beautiful and pretty, and that was kind of like the focus. Whereas like for my brother it was like, oh, how do we get you strong? Like how. So
he got a whole separate.
Set of them. He definitely wasn't being told that papaya made your boobs bigger. So, but anyways,
I would use papaya for like bowel obstructions.
Yeah. I've heard that works though.
It does. It really does. It works wonders.
Anyways, that's it for today's episode. Thank you for, tuning in to see this debunking. If you guys have any similar, experiences or anything, any
Like
home
funny
remedies.
stories.
Yeah, any funny stories of weird home remedies or, experiences or health advice that you were given as a kid. We would love to hear them. And that'd be it for today.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Hey there. Thanks for watching our podcast. If you liked it, please like and subscribe and comment any questions you have for us to answer in future episodes. Thank you for listening to Egg and Bean Podcast.